Good afternoon, students. This is Syed Aslam, Associate Professor in Mechanical Engineering Department of Lord's Institute of Engineering and Technology. Today, we will be discussing about performance test on two-stroke petrol engine. So here, you are able to see a two-stroke petrol engine test rig. Here, we are going to calculate the brake power which is available at the engine end, that is the power available at the crankshaft. We know what is an engine. An engine is a machine which converts heat energy in the fuel into mechanical energy. So that is known as a heat engine. So heat engines can be internal combustion engine and external combustion engine. Here, when the fuel is burnt inside the engine cylinder, we call it as a internal combustion engine. Under this category, we have SI engine and CI engine. SI engine means spark ignition engine and CI engine means compression ignition engine. So SI engine, when we talk about SI engine, there is a spark plug and carburetor. So it is related with petrol engine. And then here, today we will be discussing about the performance of petrol engine, which is two-stroke engine here. So in this one, first what we have to do is, we have to start the engine and then we can calculate the amount of fuel consumed for particular amount of air sucked and particular amount of fuel consumed, and then we can find out the brake power of an engine. Then for finding out that brake power, we have a device which is known as dynamometer. Dynamometer is a device to measure the brake power developed by the engine at the crankshaft. So now here we are using, you can see here, this is a petrol engine test rig, and then you can see at the back an engine. This is a two-stroke petrol engine or SI engine, and then this engine is connected to the brake dynamometer through the belt, and then this dynamometer, as I told you, is a device for measuring the brake power which is developed at the crankshaft of the engine. And then using this brake drum, we can calculate the brake power of an engine. So we know the formula for calculating brake power of any engine. It is given by 2 pi nt. That is, if you know the torque which is available at the dynamometer into revolutions of the crankshaft, then we will be able to find out the brake power of an engine. Then similarly, we can find out the fuel consumed. Fuel consumed is nothing but it is the volume of fuel which has been utilized for certain period of time. So we have total fuel consumed can be calculated using fuel, that is volume of the fuel consumed for a particular time into density of the fuel, right? Then we can calculate the total fuel consumed. Then here, now we can start the engine. Can you start? Here on the front, we are having a manometer for measuring the airflow, and then we have a pipette or burette we call for measuring the fuel consumption. We have, you can see 2 marks here, black marks. So the fuel in between those 2 marks is 10 cc. So when we start the engine, we will switch on this valve, and then we will see how much time it takes for consumption of 10 cc or 10 ml of petrol. So that time we will note down, that is, and then at that time we will take the manometer reading. The difference between the 2 tubes of the manometer reading will give the pressure, that is the head of air which is there, which will be acting on the orifice meter. we have an orifice meter. You can see this one. This is an orifice. This is air box which is containing an orifice meter for measuring the air flow rate. So here, using this orifice meter and manometer, we can find out the air flow rate, and then we can calculate the air flow rate and then fuel consumption using the burette, and then we can calculate air fuel ratio also. Okay, can we start the engine now? Hello student, just now we have completed our experiment on two-stroke petrol engine, and then we have recorded the required readings. So we have seen the time taken for fuel consumption of 10 cc of petrol. We got 34 seconds. In 34 seconds, fuel 10 cc or 10 ml of petrol was consumed, right? At the speed of the crankshaft of 1300 rpm. And then what the load what we have taken here is 6 kg. That means at 6 kg load at speed of 1300 rpm, time consumed for petrol is 34 seconds. Now we will do the calculations which is required. First we have to calculate the fuel consumption. So now fuel consumption, as I told you, total fuel consumption which is shown here, total fuel consumption is given by the formula fuel consumed. That required quantity which we have taken is 10 ml of petrol into density of the petrol divided by 1000 into time taken for 10 ml. That 10 ml, 1000 we are dividing because milliliter we are converting it into liters. So that 1000 constant we have to divide. Then we are multiplying the same with 60 into 60 because we want to calculate total fuel consumed in kgs per hour. So that is why we have fuel consumed 10 ml into density of the petrol 0.75 into 60 into 60. This is per minute and this is for 1 kg divided by 1000 into, this is the time taken for the consumption of petrol, 34 seconds. So if you calculate this, you get 0.794 kg per hour. This is the total fuel which is consumed in kgs per hour. Right. Now we will calculate the brake power which is available at the crankshaft. Okay. So now brake power, as I told you, it is given by 2 pi nt. So here 2 pi n is the revolution of the crankshaft and F1 minus F2, that is the load which we apply there that is spring balance 1 and spring balance 2, that sum of that we have seen the difference, and then we have calculated that load is equal, F1 minus F2 is equal to 6 kgs. So now in place of F1 minus F2 I can use 6 kg and then 9.8, because it is in kg, we want to convert it into newtons, we multiply it by 9.81 gravitational constant into, now this one F1 minus F2, which is 6 kgs into 9.81 will give me the load in newtons. And then if I multiply, what is that one? Force. If I multiply the force with the radius of the dynamometer, that is brake drum, which is equal to 0.15 meters. This total F1 minus this load into torque into radius will give the torque. This is nothing but this is 2 pi and total this thing is T. F1 minus F2, this is the load, right, which is in kgs. I convert it to Newton by multiplying with 9.81. Then I get in Newton, that is the force, into radius of the dynamometer will give me the torque. Okay. So now this is 2 pi nt divided by 60,000. I get it in kilowatt. So I substitute the value here, 2 into 3.14, and then we have seen the RPM which we have calculated there. It is 1,300, and then load which we have applied is 6 kgs, and then same constant 9.81 into radius 0.15 divided by 60,000 will give me 1.2 kilowatt as the brake power. That is the useful power which is available at the crankshaft of the engine. Right. Now, third point what we have to calculate is how much specific fuel is consumed per brake power developed. So now we have specific fuel consumption. We have the formula, that is total fuel consumed divided by brake power. You get it in kgs per kilowatt hour. So now I substitute the value. TFC we got 0.794 kg, and then brake power we have 1.2. So when I divide it, so I get 0.66 kg per kilowatt hour as my specific fuel consumption. Now, the fourth point what we have to calculate here is how much heat we are inputting into the engine. So that is, heat input is given by total fuel consumed into calorific value and then divided by 3600, because total fuel consumed we have calculated per hour, right? So if I divide it by 60 into 60, I get it in per second. That means I get it in kilowatt. Okay. So now here total fuel consumed is 0.794 into calorific value. In the last class also I told you what is calorific value. Calorific value, it is the heat energy which is available when we burn 1 kg of fuel. Right? This is what we are burning here. We are burning the petrol. So now the calorific value of petrol we can take roughly as 42,000 kilojoule per kg. So now when I multiply this TFC with calorific value and divide it by 3600, I get 9.26 kilowatt. This is the heat input in terms of kilowatt, right? Because if you divide anything ratio, both should be in same unit. So that is why now we are calculating brake thermal efficiency. So brake thermal efficiency is given by brake power divided by heat input. So that means this is the output and this is the input which we have given to the engine. So brake power we got here is 1.2 kilowatt, and then heat input in terms of again kilowatt is equal to 9.26. If I simplify it and multiply it by 100, I get 12.9%. That means the overall efficiency of the engine is 12.9%. This concludes the experiment, right, on a 2-stroke petrol engine. Thank you.